If you're watching this right now, do not join the military. Don't do it. Yo, what is up, family? I know it's been a long time since y'all seen the boy. Boy got a fresh cut, looking clean, looking fresh. You already know. It's been a minute though. I had my hair cut for about 2 weeks now. So like, I really haven't recorded a video in a while, but you know, y'all know I'm trying to get back consistent. I'm just trying to think of ideas, things to post, things of that nature. This video is basically saying, is the Air Force worth it, or is the military worth it in general? Now this video will break down everything. I wouldn't say everything that you need to know, but this video will basically give you questions you can ask yourself to determine if you should really join the military or not. Because I know when I was gonna join, I was kind of on edge. I was like, I don't really know if this and that. You know what I'm saying? So these are questions that I wish I would have asked of me before I joined. But yeah, man, if y'all don't know me though, it's your first time checking out the channel. My name is Javion. I am in the military. I'm not gonna say what branch because some people be weird. I heard some stories about people like texting the person's unit and then saying this and that. So I'm gonna just tell y'all, my name is Javion. I'm in the military. You can believe me if you want to. My channel has a background proof. But yeah, man, I just post military content, day in the lives, things of that nature to give y'all an insight on what it's really like to be in the military. So if you're interested in that, definitely check it out. But let's get into the video. One of the things that you should think about before you join the military is your why. Why are you joining? Like, what is your purpose? Because if you know that, then it's going to help you determine if it's the best choice for you. I know my why was so that I can build some stability in my life and I can have a good job that's going to consistently pay me and not, you know what I'm saying, put me to the side or something like that. And the reason why I joined also is so that way the job that I get in the Air Force, I can use that and get a better job on the outside. So like I'm an aircraft mechanic, so I might work on planes when I get out. I'm not 100% sure yet, but that's kind of my thought process and what I was thinking. So you want to make sure you know your why. And that will also help you through BMT, because if you know your why, then it will push you to keep going, because in BMT it's a different type of atmosphere. They're screaming, they're yelling. It's not as bad as they make it seem, but they are screaming at you. They are yelling at you. They are telling you to do this and do that. And in your head, you're like, why did I join? Like your first day, you're going to be like, bro, why did I do this? And that's why it's important to know your why, so that way you can keep pushing and keep being the best version of yourself throughout your whole Air Force career. You know what I'm saying? So I would really encourage y'all to think about your why and why you joined. All right, another thing that you want to think about is your goals. Now, a lot of people get the two confused. Your why is the reason why you join. Your goals are what you plan to get out of it. Now, it's kind of the same difference in a way, but for example, my why was to build that financial stability. And like I said, my goal is when I get out, I'll be able to afford a house. So, you know, it's like two different things. It's kind of the same thing. And now that I'm thinking about it, now that I'm actually sitting here recording, talking to myself, it's actually kind of the same thing. But your goals and like what do you plan on achieving after the end of your 4 years is going to be different than your why, because the longer you stay in, your why is going to change. Like some people only join for the benefits, but then they realize, oh, I want to do this, and that, as they kept on going through their career, and they ended up staying in. Because if you plan on doing 4 and out, you're probably gonna stay in. Because that's the process I'm at right now. I'm gonna do 4 years and I'm gonna get out, but I'm gonna end up staying in. So it's important to keep thinking about your goals and what you plan on achieving after the 4 years, so that way you know kind of where your trajectory is going. So you're not stuck in that place where you're at the 4-year mark and you're like, I don't know if I'm ready. I don't know if I want to do this. I don't know if I want to do that. So that's kind of why it's important to know what your goals are and the little things along the way that you want to achieve while you're in. All right. Number 3 is, are you ready to leave your family, dog? Are you ready to leave your family, sister? That's some of the things that you have to think about as well, because when you go to the military, you're leaving everything behind. You're leaving your brother, your mom, your sister, your dad, your grandpa, your granny, your uncle, cousins. You know what I'm saying? You're leaving everything behind. So are you ready to do that? Are you ready to get out your comfort zone and leave home for the first time by yourself for a while? Or maybe you're 21 plus or 25, 30, you know what I'm saying, and you've already been living on your own, but you still have somewhat of a family, you still have somewhat of a social life, friends, and things of that nature that you don't want to let go of. That's one of the things that you're going to think about, and think about, is it worth leaving my friends and family to pursue what I want to pursue? And if you're already at that point, if you're at the point where your last thought is your friends and your family, then you should go. Because at the end of the day, it's your life and it's not theirs. Now, they might be a crucial point in your life, but you can't hold yourself back. You can't hold back your blessings because your friends and your family are at home. Because trust me when I say this, I done been back home a few times. Nothing is going to change. From the moment you leave from BMT to the point where you reach like a year and a half, 2 years, which is where I'm almost at right now, nothing's gonna change. They're gonna be doing the same things, living the same type of lifestyle. I promise you, they're not going nowhere. Unless you got some crazy friends that, you know what I'm saying, they end up being multimillionaires while you in the military, which I highly doubt. But it's just crazy to see that those same people are doing the same exact thing. So your friend and your family, they're gonna be all right. They're blessed. They're covered. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to worry about them. God got them. So if that's your final thought, where like you don't want to leave your friends or your family, then just go. I promise you everything will be okay. You can still contact them. You only won't be able to contact them for 7.5 weeks, and even then you still get your phone calls every 2 weeks. So really, you're fine. You know what I'm saying? You just got to go 7.5 weeks and you can text and call them every single day. You'll be fine, gang. But anyways, next point. The next point, now I don't even know what I'm going to talk about for this one. I just wrote it down on my piece of paper. But what are you willing to sacrifice? Because a lot of people, they might have a pregnant wife or they might have kids already. Are you willing to sacrifice that time away from your family? It's kind of ties into the same thing as the last point, but what are you willing to sacrifice? Are you willing to sacrifice time away from your family or things that you love to do or the career that you're up and coming at and you don't know if you want to keep doing it or not? Are you willing to sacrifice that to join the military? And that's kind of where your goals play along too, because if you know your goals and you know what you're willing to sacrifice for those goals, are those goals going to help you 10 years from now versus you staying at home for 10 years? Like, what is going to be the balance? What's going to be the difference? So you need to think of what you're willing to sacrifice. One of the things that I had to sacrifice was my old relationship. Now, everything was going smoothly, quote unquote. Y'all know how relationships go. But it was her kind of main point of leaving me was that she didn't want to do long distance. Now, obviously, there's other things that transpired, which we're not going to get into, obviously. But one of her main points was she didn't want to do long distance. And in my head, I'm like, dang, do I want to stay home and make this work? Or do I want to pursue the things that I want to pursue and make that sacrifice and do me? And that's where you gotta roll the dice. And for me, it wasn't more so rolling the dice. I already knew what I was going to do. I knew I was going to join the Air Force. Nobody can hold me back from that because it's my journey. You know what I'm saying? I knew that God had this vision for me, and I had to see it through. So you just got to keep that in mind. What are you willing to sacrifice? What are you willing to give up? What are you willing to change about yourself to join the military? You know? And that's just something that you're going to think about. But let's get to number four. I don't know. All right. This one's going to be kind of controversial. Can you handle toxicity? Now, I do not represent the military. I don't represent the Air Force. I don't represent none of that. So this is just my opinion. This is just things that I've experienced. This does not represent the Air Force as a whole. But this is just maintenance specifically. But are you ready to handle toxicity? It's a lot of people that's been doing this for a long time, and they're higher up, and they think that they can treat you a certain way or they can act a certain way because of their rank. And are you willing to handle that? Now, me personally, ask any of the people that I work with, I don't tolerate none of that. Regardless if you got 5 stripes, 6 stripes, 7 stripes, you got an ego on your chest, I don't tolerate none of that. And that's just what it is. Because we're all humans at the end of the day. Yes, I respect you because you've accomplished this many things and you've done this and you've done that, but you can't talk to me a certain way. So are you ready to handle that respectively? Now, I'm not saying if somebody treats you a certain way, you should swing on them. No, that's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is, are you willing to be able to adjust and understand that some people have an ego and some people got treated a certain way when they were down, so they're going to reciprocate that when they get up? Are you ready to handle that? Because that's a big part of at least the maintenance career field. Now, if you're working in the office, you might not have to deal with that, but toxic leadership can really affect your work life. And now, thankfully, I have pretty good leadership, so I haven't experienced that too much, but I had a couple situations, like I said, and it's just like, are you willing to deal with that? Are you willing to handle that throughout your Air Force career? Because it's going to be something that's going to be prominent, whether you like it or not. You know what I'm saying? And that's just something that you're going to have to think about. So that's another question you got to think about. Let's get into the number 6. Wait, 6? The one that I didn't really think about when I joined was, are you willing to stay if necessary? Now, this goes back to my earlier point, because when I told y'all that people say they're going to do 4 years and they end up staying 20, are you willing to do that? Or are you if you're strictly going to be 4 and out, then you might need to rethink your life choices, because a lot of things can happen in those 4 years to make you want to stay. or not even make you want to stay, but make it so you have to stay. So that's why you have to be on top of your goals. You have to be on top of your finances. You have to be on top of your plans. Otherwise, you're going to end up staying longer than necessary. So are you willing to stay if you have to? Because if you're not in the right position, if you're not making enough money, if you ain't saving enough money in those 4 years and you can't move out and get your own apartment, get your own house, you're going to have to stay. So that's another thing that you got to realize. Another thing I didn't really think about is, are you willing to physically challenge your mind and your body for the military? Because everybody knows you go through basic training. You have to physically train every day. And if you're not in shape now, you can get in shape and they will get you in shape. So you don't have to worry about that. But are you willing to physically challenge yourself and pursue to get better every single day for your whole Air Force career? Because the PT test don't stop once you leave basic training. Now, the way the Air Force works is if you get over a 90, you only have to do one once a year. If you get under a 90, you have to do 2 a year. So are you willing to maintain your body? Are you ready to maintain your physical health for the military? And that should be a simple answer. The answer should always be yes. You should always want to be in the best shape of your life. I understand things happen, life happens, but you should always strive to be a better version of yourself every single day, regardless if you're in the military or not. The mind part of it is, it kind of ties into like leaving family and just things of that nature. Like, you're going to go through tough times while you're in the military, and you're not with your family, you're not with your friends. So it's kind of hard to find people to lean on to, but that's why you have to make a new family in the military. As corny as that sounds, I feel like I have a new family in the military. So you just got to find those people that you really click with, that you really go to for anything, because without it, you're going to be struggling. Nobody can do it alone. You gotta have God, and you gotta have some friends. You know what I'm saying? Mainly God. If you need somebody and you don't have nobody, God is always there. You don't never have nobody. You always have God. But point is, and that is, your mind is, you're gonna be going through some things in your mind. So you need to be ready. You need to be able to change your mind to make it better for the military. Now, because a lot of people are stuck in that same mindset that they are in the civilian world, and they don't realize that the military is a whole different switch. It's a whole different thing. You have to change so much, and I can't even really explain it in this video because this is just the basic video. I'm not gonna go in depth, but the way your mind has to change is just, it's insane, dog. And you don't realize it in the moment, but like now looking back at it in basic training, like, and how I was before I joined the military, like, I'm a whole different person, dog. Like, it's crazy. But yeah, that's that for that. But nah, that was a quick, short video. It wasn't really like, is the military worth it? It was more so questions you should ask yourself before joining the military. Now, hopefully this helped you guys. In conclusion, I would say if you're even thinking about joining, you should join. Because if you weren't mentally prepared or you weren't physically prepared to join, I feel like you wouldn't even have a thought about it. So if you're thinking about joining, you should definitely do it. Chase your heart, do what God is telling you to do. Because God is always first, you know. If it's not in God's plan, then it won't happen, you know. So I feel like you should always chase the things that you desire as long as it's aligned in God's will. But yeah, man, like I said, join the military. It's lit, and it's not, you know what I'm saying? It's just up to you. It's up to your discretion. I'm chilling right now. I enjoy it. I'm only doing 4 years, so let the answer tells you what I think about the military. But I love y'all, man. Love all of y'all. Love your support. Thank y'all. Y'all have to stay blessed. Y'all stay safe. To the next one. Peace.